And my this table here is going to represent any hard surface. So cement, asphalt, wood, metal, soil, rock, sand. That's what this is going to represent. Now, really important takeaway here. This would be a pooling oil spill. So this would be like a spill just happened and you got like, 10 gallons, 100 gallons, 1,000 gallons, whatever. That's the only time you're going to use what we call oil solutions powder. And if you haven't used this yet, it's doing something that you've probably never seen before. Um, it basically finds the fuel, it encapsulates the fuel, renders the fuel non-toxic um, on contact. So you can see first it assumes the color of the fuel, and then the big takeaway from this is you want to overuse it because you want to. What happens is when you put, if you only put a little bit on, then you only clean up a little bit. Really cool feature is it works right away, and two is you can't waste it. So if you're on a spill site and you're dumping and dumping and dumping, it's not doing anything anymore. It uses exactly what it needs, and then it stops working. And what I mean by that is it grabs everything, and then you have white virgin powder on top because it got it all. There's no more oil there, and all this white powder, we could take that and throw that all right back in the bag. So it's a very, very efficient type of a product where you're only paying and using for exactly what you need, and everything else you get to reuse it. All the other products on the market, you put it down and that's it. Whatever you put down is gone. As far as the cleanup goes, um, now this is diesel fuel, so this is going to work pretty quick. Your gasoline, your condensate, your diesel, your thinner fuels, it's going to work very quick. It's going to work in minutes. If you have heavier oils like hydraulic oil, crude oil, motor oil, like real heavy, thick oils, this is going to take probably 10 minutes or 15 minutes. It'll take a little bit longer. So not extreme, but just you want to leave it a little longer. When people see me do this demo, they usually might get confused because they think it works this fast on all the fuels, and they'll be using it and they'll say, yeah, it's working good, but it didn't work like exactly like the way you had it. What am I doing wrong? And I find out they're using some kind of number 4 oil or some kind of crude. I go, okay, you just have to leave it longer and maybe use a little bit more, but that's about it. So to clean this up, if we're on a hard surface, this is pretty easy to clean up. If we are in rock or gravel or some kind of outdoor thing, I'd probably take a rake and just kind of rake this up, or you could just leave it. We've been out for like 22 years. Once you use it a few times and you get some confidence and then you've tested it, this is completely non-toxic now. You'll never be able to find the oils. We deal with utility companies where they have PCBs and nasty stuff and your benzenes and tylenes and xylenes. You can never find them again. There's nothing you can do to get to the toxic characteristics that are in any oil. So I'm going to clean this up. And what you're walking away with is dry, non-toxic rubber. It's basically it's not exactly rubber, but I call it feels like rubber. It kind of looks like rubber, but really what it is it's encapsulated hydrocarbons is really what it is. And I'm going to discard this. And again, all my good stuff I could save. And from what I read from Ron's email, it sounds like this is probably gonna pertain to your situation a little bit more. So now you've had a spill. Let's say it happened early this morning. It happened last weekend. It happened 5 years ago. Okay, we made another product, same technology, but we made it in liquid form called Oil Solutions Liquid Step 1, Step 2. I'm not even looking which is which. You could put your one on, then your two on, your two on, then your one on. What I like to do, it works best for me. I do this mostly is I do it at the same time. And one of the reasons I like to do it at the same time is one, it's faster. Getting the product on quickly is better for everybody. The odor has already disappeared. I don't smell any odor. Like 8 seconds ago, I was getting diesel in my face. I don't smell any oil anymore. Um, you want to try to use equal portions. You don't have to get crazy, but you want to use close to equal portions. It just works a little better that way. If you don't do equal portions, it'll still work, but it'll be a little sloppier. One way you did it perfect if you're on a hard surface or even in um, like a dirt or gravel or something like that. If you take a rake and kind of rake it in, you'll see it start to gel up, turns to a solid gel right away. So the product starts out as a liquid, and then it starts the second phase is a gel. The third phase is a dry, non-toxic, powdery sand, and that you're done. With this product, there's really no cleanup. I'm going to say there's no cleanup, but some companies I deal with, they may do very large areas. It might be on somebody else's property, and they'll come back the next day or about 12 hours later, 24 hours later, and this will be just like a powdery sand. So let's say it was on a roadway. So you come back next day, it's like a powdery sand, and they'll come and either power wash it off, sweep it off, vacuum it off, and they're kind of just doing a show because they're showing the property owner, hey, we cleaned it all up. The great part about both these products is they work 100%. This isn't a product where you go to a spill and you use it on any type of oil spill and you go, yeah, it's pretty good. As soon as I hear that, I go, whoa, 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 what do you mean pretty good? And they go, well, it's better than what we're using, which is oil dry and oil pads. But yeah, it's there's still sometimes some oil there. And I'm telling you that on purpose because what happens in that situation is, and I kind of covered it a little bit with the powder and liquid, is they usually don't use enough. That's like my number one problem is people don't use enough. So I have a guy go to a 50-gallon spill and he brings a 5-gallon pail of this. So you got 5 gallons of my stuff and you got a 50-gallon spill. So this product is like any other product. What I usually do in the real world is if I'm going to a 10-gallon spill, and let's say it already happened. So remember, this is the big takeaway too. The powder is only for pooling fuel. This is only for new spills pooling fuel. So if when my phone rings, I usually automatically just grab for the liquid because if you're calling me, it already happened. You know what I mean? So it's already soaking in. Maybe you already used oil dry to clean it up. Maybe you're on gravel or sand or soil, and I know it already soaked in. So this is only for oil above the ground. So I grab this right away. Um, and oh, let me show you. Let me just jump around a little bit here. Let me show you the water here. I poured the fuel in the water, and same deal. I'm going to grab all my good powder and save it. And there's all my oil, and I could just grab this and wring it out. No, there's no oil getting on my hand. It's basically just a dry piece of rubber, or it feels like rubber, and you could just discard this. There's two ways this is going to come out. One way is it's going to come out in like one solid ball, and the other way it might be all chunks. Same cleanup. It's just depending on the weather and the fuel, it might do either. So just to warn you, some people call me and they go, "Hey, it's not a big perfect ball. What do we do? What do we do wrong?" And I'll say, "What oil did you use? It was a thicker, heavier oil." And I'll say, "It's what do you have? All like chunks?" Like, yeah, I got same thing. Just get a pool skimmer or something, skim it out, and you'll be good. Um, this product or the liquid? Okay, that's probably not the best application for it. Okay. Yeah, so you'll definitely have success with the powder, definitely, because the blobs. When people call me with spill, I'm glad you described it so well. Um, First thing I always ask because people ask for the powder, I go, is it blobs of oil or is it like is it oil just mixed in the soil where you really can't even see it that well? So yeah, that would be perfect for that. And then I probably would use this as a safety measure for you guys to make sure you got it all because there's definitely going to be times in the real world when you're using the powder where it's mixing with rocks, it's mixing with earth, and you're not getting it all. So it wouldn't hurt to have this, like, let's say in sprayers, and just have this in the backup where you have the powder laid out, you're having success, maybe 90. Oh, okay. Okay. Absolutely. The blobs, are they okay? Are the blobs like liquid or like molasses? Oh, it's liquid. Okay, that's even better. That's even better. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. And what's the final destination for it? What's when it finally makes its way through this? What's at the end? A lake. Okay, so the lake. I just want to address that for a second because the information gets better and better and better. So if you did want to boom it before it goes fully into the lake, hold the powder back and it'll hold the oil back. That would be a great idea because it'll be concentrated at the end. If any oil does get into any fuel gets into the lake, step one by itself removes oil sheen, 100%. Not like Dawn soap where you just drop it to the bottom and it's also it cleans it 100%. So if I have companies that do a similar thing and they'll go out every day, once a week, once a month, whatever, and go out in a boat or maybe walk and spray and it works instantly too. So as soon as it hits the sheen, gone. Okay. 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 Sure. We actually make it in 30-pound bags, and a full skid would be 900 pounds, a full skid. So that's my biggest one package, and then obviously the 30-pound bags. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then as far as purchasing, I mean, we had Ron in the middle. Are we is that going to be cost effective for you to have a middleman? Okay. Sure. Okay. I just want to make sure your distributor is going to do the right thing because a lot of the biggest problem I have with the product is whenever there's somebody in the middle, they make that they on each unit they look to pay their mortgage. So, do you have a good relationship with them? Or Did you say no relationship? Okay, all right. I'm not trying. Okay, here's the. I'm not trying to hurt anybody, um, but I'm going to say this too. I don't. I also don't want to lose the business and your deal and this opportunity either. So it's like, and it whenever somebody gets in the middle, they put 60, 70% margin on each bag, and it ends up going in the garbage. So I'm going to leave that up to you. I'm going to leave it up to you guys how you want to proceed. Can you just and then could that be confidential? Okay. 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 Which company did you test it with? Okay. Okay. That's why I do this because I want to show. I don't want to tell you. I want to show you how it works. Oh, okay. Now, am I selling to you guys or am I selling to the actual guys who are actually using it? Okay. 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 I I'm the owner, so I could do whatever you want right now. There's nothing's holding me back. Yeah. So do you guys have a broker? Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, because we could actually work on that too. If it's an advantage to you guys, I've noticed sometimes if you're in Canada and you're getting your own broker and your own trucking, it's usually a lot cheaper than me getting an American trucking company and getting a broker and do it. It's usually like significantly cheaper. That would be fantastic. That's fantastic. I do. In fact, most of my Canadian customers, that's what I do. I have a lot of guys on the East Coast, and they have operations in like Buffalo and things like that, and then they ship it there. Okay. Okay. Great. 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 That'll work the best. I'll tell you right now. That'll work the best because, yeah, and yeah, to get you a sample isn't a big deal. Like, I mean, we could just UPS or FedEx to you. That's not a problem. I don't think they give you a customs issue if it's just a FedEx. Yeah. Okay. 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 All right. It's good to know. That's a trick. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. I like hearing all the tricks going to Canada. Yeah. I make it in Texas. So if just to give you guys some geography and thought on it, so that's majority of where it's coming from. Um, yeah, just so you know. No difference. No difference. The powder has no limitations. In other words, you don't have to, you could store it outdoors, store it open. We have a lot of, obviously we do a lot of oil and gas in the States, and the guys will be at the plants or the rigs and just store it outside in open boxes because it's hydrophobic. The liquid will freeze under 14 degrees. It'll start to freeze. So if you do want some liquid, during the winter, you got to keep it indoors. It's almost the same size. It's not. Yeah, I get that a lot, and I mean, we've tested it, and if I like when I blanket the table here and I put it's the same footprint. There's it's because it goes into it and then assumes the footprint. You know what I mean? It's not going like popcorn. Yeah, yeah. No, no. And I'll just give you my 2 cents on that. Like I sell to Exxon here in the States. I sell PBF, Valero, just about everybody. And at first, everything you're saying, that's what they say to me. Everything you're saying. Once they use it and they test it a couple times, no one cleans it up because it's completely inert. You'll never be able to find the hydrocarbons again. It's a polymer quality. Oh, okay. Okay. Same here, man. Really, really looking forward to it. Definitely. Thank you. Thanks. Do you charge? Are you going to charge for the product? Or are you charging for your time and service? Well, like in other words, if you're selling it, if you're selling this to, okay, 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 okay. I got you. Because yeah, the thing I'm thinking too is just everyone that uses the product long term, they all report back to me that how much I'm not even joking about this, how much they're saving. Everybody does that. They go, Kevin, I have like utility companies around New York here. And the first year, this one company, we had another big meeting like this. We were going over everything, and they didn't really want to tell me at first. And I was digging with this one guy, and he goes, "We saved about $5 million the first year with your product." And because because the only competition I have is you calling an environmental company to do this project, and they're going to charge 100 times for a bag what a bag is. So I want to give you, I'm sure you already know but that is 100% true. There's no one who uses this, because sometimes people will say, oh, a gallon, wow, that's a lot, it's a kind of, but then they'll start using it, and then it's like night and day reduction. because it works. Number one, it works right away. It cleans everything. It cleans the whole thing. There's no disposal, so you're eliminating a lot. So I'm just telling you, I could see you already understand that. I got it. I got it. Okay. Okay. Right. Understood. Yeah. Yeah. And by the way, Exxon's, I have like guys who sell it for me around the states, and Exxon's so big. I told them because they're always worried. They're like, "Well, you know, you could just give me the whole Exxon." I go, "Dude, I go, Exxon is so big," and this is true. I go, I've had guys selling it to Exxon, and they don't even know about this. Like the people over here don't know over here. So yeah, yeah. Like you would have to dig for 6 months to find the areas I sell this to in the states. It would take you forever to find, and then it probably wouldn't even be my product; it'd be something else. So it's crazy. Yeah. Okay. So do me a favor. Send me an email with all your contact and company info. Send me where you want the sample shipped to, and then and I'll get it right out. Great talking to you. Bye bye.